live in the High Hill, Tony, Georgie, G, Animal, Parfit, Ojo, Hannah, Don't Cry for Me, Day Not Worth a Plug, Nixon, Punch, you can see us on television, Michelle the Sweet Pickle Quickle, and somewhere out in TV town, Casey Brown, who arranged for this program, ladies and gentlemen. We have your hackneyed politician, your has-been this, your yesterday's that. Now, we have a major star, the lovely and talented, the one, the only, the incredible, the vivacious. Are you waiting to see what I'm going to say now? She's right there. Vicki Lawrence, Calvin. Vicki freaking Lawrence. Okay? Know what I'm saying? Vicki Lawrence of Mama's Family, of The Carol Burnett Show, of Vicki, her own talk show, of briefly of Fox After Breakfast, of Stage and Screen, of The Lights, the night the lights went out in Georgia. And she's generously decided to stick around until about 9:40 tonight. We'd hoped to have George Benson through the magic of videotape for you, but we went down to the I Feel Light Amphitheater, and the tour manager said he is not on my schedule. This interview is not on my schedule. So, we ain't got no freaking George Benson. So, you know, he's from here, I don't know, so I'm not going to say anything bad about him because a lot of guys from the Hill probably beat the crap out of me. But, fortunately, we don't need... And then, after 9:40, we're going to play an oldie but a goodie. Yes, it's our favorite busted on the big shot moment. The annoying, snotty, little condescending Republican political consultant Bill Green. The magical moment when we busted in on his office and he didn't know we were coming. 8 minutes of pure television magic. You'll want to stay tuned for that. We will be taking your phone calls for Vicki Lawrence at 333-PCNC and a scintillating commentary about a potpourri of subjects in the news at the end of the broadcast. Stay with us on Night Talk and the Pittsburgh Cable News Channel. Back in a moment.
The official transportation provider of Night Talk is Pittsburgh Limousine. Whether it's for business or a special night on the town, Pittsburgh Limousine is the one clear choice in transportation.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know that song. It was one of the, well, I suppose the most famous recording by actor, songstress, and all-around utility player extraordinaire, and major presence in show business. And, you know, big muckety muck.
That was probably the most interesting introduction I've ever had.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What was the second most interesting?
I don't know.
Vicki Lawrence, ladies and gentlemen.
That is my, you don't meet many people that can do a medley of their hit, John. I can just tell you that. Right now.
You know, I hesitate to ask you any questions because I keep thinking you've been asked them all 1,000 times. Everybody wants to know what was Carol really like, or what about working with Harvey Korman? How about all those people you worked with on Mama's Family? How'd you get the... But I want to ask you all those questions. So I'm just torn. I have a dilemma.
You probably should because, I mean, what else will we talk about?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I was just going to ask if you preferred to talk about something else, because it didn't really matter to me.
Well, I could just mention why I'm here in Pittsburgh.
Should we lead off with that, and that way at least it doesn't start off like every single other...
What the hell is she doing sitting there talking with John in Pittsburgh, for crying out loud?
Yeah, what the hell? Yes, definitely.
Okay.
So what are you doing?
A woman must have better things to do. I'm here for Pfizer, who has put together a program called Value Your Heart, and they're sending me around the country to speak to people about getting in tune with the most vital organ in your body, kids, and knowing your numbers and being aware of how it will affect your long-term health. So they've put this program together in conjunction with Walmart.
And why are you into this heart thing? Just because you're a citizen who wants to do
and the
good?
Center for the Old People, what's that?
The Center for the Old People in Allegheny, here?
No, in New York. What's our big group? You're not old enough yet,
The Center for Damn Near Dead People. The Center for People with One Foot in the Grave.
No. The Coalition for People Who Are Getting Older. What is that organization called? It's in Washington. I should know.
Whatever. Anyway, they're important too.
You know,
and
they're trying to help us age gracefully.
But not.
You don't have to worry about it yet, John.
I'm 42 years old, and I'm going to be 43 any month now.
Okay, I feel really sorry for you. Okay. Anyway, so I'll be at Walmart tomorrow, about 11 o'clock.
At 10 in the morning?
No, about 11.
Which
We're rolling
Walmart?
there about 11. Walmart on 250 Summit Park Drive, like I could find it if I had to.
So these humans could actually come up to you and meet you in person and shake your hand and touch you and everything?
Yeah, and then hopefully get their blood pressure taken and find out what it all means tomorrow night at the Allegheny General Hospital. We're going to have an evening program from about 6 to 7:30, and there'll be some doctors there to answer the important stuff and me to answer the really stupid stuff, probably.
So you could either go to the Walmart or the Allegheny
General.
Or
if you have a question, like if you get your blood pressure taken at Walmart and it's 250 over 190, you might want to show up that evening and say, hey, what do you think?
Now, are you just a
we'll
wonderful...
send you down to ER.
Are you just a wonderful do-gooder, or did somebody in your family have a heart problem? Did you have any heart problems?
Oh, honey, everybody's got people in the family with heart problems, I think. For me, gosh, both grandpas on my husband's and my side have done the bypass thing. The high cholesterol and the clogged arteries and all that stuff. The grandmother, Al's mother, my husband's mother, is like such a female statistic because she was scared to death to go to a doctor for years. She's in her late 70s. She's probably not watching. So anyway, but she was scared to death that she was going to go to the doctor and he was going to tell her she had cancer. So she has spent so many years worrying about the big C that it never dawned on her that it was going to be a heart attack in the middle of the night. Yeah. And it is. It's the #1 killer of women over 50.
Heart attacks?
Damn right.
Get out.
It's heart disease. Huh. You could take every kind of cancer that a woman can possibly get, and we're all scared to death of breast cancer. That's what women are predominantly scared of. And you could take every kind of cancer that we can possibly get, from to breast to colon to uterus to brain to stomach, all of them. Put that number together. It's not anywhere near the number of women that die from heart attacks each year. Not even near. It's that number from heart attacks and heart disease is higher than the next 14 causes of death put together.
But I always thought men were the ones who ignored health warnings and that women were much more conscientious.
Well, yeah, and men are prone younger. Women are prone more as they get towards that menopause age, but men are prone a little younger. But you know what's really interesting? Because when I started getting close to that menopause kind of age, I read an interesting book that said that women have only been studied in laboratory tests by the FDA since 1992. So there's probably not a lot of data on us girls out there yet, which is kind of sad.
And is that
women's health is, don't get me started on women's health.
Wait, is that because men are pigs and they don't give a damn about women? Is that why they waited till 92 to get this thing rolling?
I don't know. There's been way more testing on men. On males than female.
It's a
female
conspiracy.
Health is a big issue now.
You, by the way, you're fit as a fiddle, though, right?
And then also, I am, but I work hard at it.
Yeah.
Also, the biggest heart deal in our family has been our son, who was diagnosed with acute hypertension at the age of 19. And it wasn't acute.
At the age of 19?
19. And we've been going through bouts of problems with him, landed in the emergency room since he was 17, and everybody said to us, you guys are in total denial, it's drugs. He is doing speed. He's doing speed, that's what it is. Kick him out of the house. We did tough love. We did everything. It was horrible.
And he wasn't doing any drugs?
You know, no.
Wow.
No. Drinking a little beer, maybe. He might have inhaled a little.
Yeah.
But nothing
that would cause those kind of symptoms.
Nothing that would cause this. And everybody said, oh my God, you're being such parents. You're in total denial. And then one night I was on the road traveling. Al had gone with me because it was a lovely weekend they had planned, you know, the golf tournament and the whole 9 yards. And our daughter came home from college to house set and watch the dogs. She walked in the door. She said, there are 10 messages on the machine. Everybody's looking for you because Garrett's in the emergency room. And his blood pressure at that point was like 250 over almost 200, and the doctor was, you know, freaking out. So, I mean, Al couldn't even get out. I had to work the next day. Al had to take a little puddle jumper to get out of the middle of Washington State and get home and get Garrett home. And we had not even seen Garrett at that point for like 6 months. We were doing tough love.
And so how's he doing now?
And through that emergency room visit, he hooked up with an internist, the first doctor in Long Beach where we live, who actually spoke to Garrett like a person and didn't go, hey buddy, my kids are doing the same damn thing, and when you want to straighten up your act, maybe things will straighten out for you, okay? And nobody talked to him straight. This guy was very, very straight with him, said this is really scary and we've got to figure out why. And I said to him, you know, Garrett's beautiful insurance is going to run out when he's 21 because he's been covered by me beautifully because of show business for all these years. And I never appreciated my insurance like the year that Garrett was 20 to 21 when I said, you do every test you can and find out why for me while I can get it for free. And he never found anything. And he said, you know, it just happens.
All right, but he's being treated now and hopefully doing much better?
He's on, he takes medication for his blood pressure, which is very difficult because he's now almost 23. When you're that age, you know, we all think we're invincible. We abused our bodies and got away with it. And for him, it's very hard to realize that he doesn't have a body that will handle the abuse.
Some of us didn't get away with it, Vicki.
So, but the message is, if you are diagnosed with high blood pressure and hypertension, you've got to stay on your medication. You've got to, you know, and lots of times it's diet and exercise, and it's that simple, but if it's a medication thing, you've got to do it.
But that's not the. But the message you're here primarily to send now is about hearts and about getting checkups.
Yeah, and the fact that 50 million Americans have high blood pressure. And there are no, you know, the thing is they call it the silent killer because there are no warning signs. You can have high blood pressure for years
and you might just think you drink too much caffeine. Oh, you don't feel anything?
No, what do you feel?
I don't know.
So you need to know your numbers, and it's not like, oh my God, my pulse is racing. There are two numbers. They're both really important, and you need to know what they mean for your health long term.
Do you know your numbers now? Now that you're
well, you know, it varies from day to day, but I have, generally speaking, most of my life had blood pressure so low that they had to check to see if I was still breathing. And as I've gotten older, it's gone up a little bit, but it's still in a normal range. So normal, I think the normal, they say, normal ballpark's like 120/80. Did somebody just drop dead?
I don't know. It actually looked
what
like
did you do?
Your little friend that brought you here is on the floor playing with himself. I don't know what the hell.
You know, I asked when I sat down if the chairs were sturdy, and now look.
Who is this guy? Is he a good friend, longtime friend?
He's my agent.
Okay. Damn, falling down on the job.
All right.
Again, yeah.
I think it could be a lawsuit. What do you think?
There you go. Oh, please. We have no money as it is. We're a humble little cable channel.
I'm just kidding.
Good. All right. So well, we'll plug that again later.
He's been up all day. He had to fly very, very early this morning, so he's a little tired.
Yeah.
Or maybe drunk. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we will
check
concentrate
your blood
on
pressure
the
while we're
incredible
gone.
career
See if you're alive.
Of Vicki Lawrence. See you in a moment on Night Talk. See you.
Night Talk is sponsored in part by R. Davenport and Associates, Pittsburgh's premier job hunting firm.
Sorry, friend.
Thelma, what is going on down there?
The demolition derby got out of hand.
You want to hold it down? I have important work to do.
Important work. I got work to do too, you know. Your Aunt Fran's gone around the bend.
Oh, I know she's really upset, but this job is a big opportunity for her. Just think she could be like dear Abby, helping other people decide what to do.
Oh, yeah, she's just the one. Takes her 3 hours to decide what color pantyhose to wear.
That was always great stuff. You must have been asked this a million times. Was it more fun to do Mama's Family or the Carol Burnett Show, or just two different universes?
Yeah, really different.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up on the Carol Burnett Show, and I mean, there never will be. I mean, that was very special.
Tell the story for the 1,000th time about how you...
1,000th?
Well, 1 millionth. Do you mind about how you hooked up with Carol?
No, I actually wrote a letter to her. Well, actually, when I was a senior in high school, I entered a contest called Miss Fireball, which was our local fireman's ball was coming up.
And this was where?
This was in Inglewood, California. Do firemen have balls here?
I don't think so, actually.
Oh, well, sorry to hear that. Anyway, we do out there.
The police, they have balls.
Do they?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Late at night in the suburbs, especially. But
anyway, so they were having their big wing ding, and they wanted some girls to sing and dance, so they said, well, let's call it a contest, and maybe we can get some bimbos to come out, and I was one of the bimbos. There were 8 of us, and they had like an 1890s firehouse theme going, so we learned 2 can-can numbers together, and then we had individual talent, and I sang and played the guitar and had a little kazoo strapped around my neck. It's a visual. Anyway, about 2 weeks prior to the contest, our local newspaper gal did an article talking about the upcoming event. She ran a picture of me in the article and said that I bore a striking resemblance to a young Carol Burnett. At which point my mom said, it is time to sit down and write the fan letter, because I'd been hearing this from the day I entered high school. I was trying really hard to be Mary Tyler Moore. I had my hair in a little flip and everything, but when I cut it short, everybody started saying, oh my God, Carol Burnett. So I did, at my mother's urging, sat down, wrote her, told her that I was a fan, that I hoped I got to meet her someday, that everybody said I looked like her. Sent off the little article so she wouldn't think I was a nut. Now, I used to, just for the record, write fan letters to everybody. I had pictures pasted all over my walls, so I was pretty good at writing fan letters. And what she did was she took my dad's name out of this newspaper article. She got the letter, she says, like the day before the contest. Called me up on the phone after school. And I picked up the phone, and I said hello, and she said, hi, this is Carol Burnett. Because people go, how did you know it was her? Well, there was no mistaking her voice. So I mean, I couldn't speak. So I handed the phone to my mom, and she said, no, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to Vicki. Tell her she doesn't have to say anything. She just needs to listen. She said, I want to come and see this contest you're going to be in. I'm very pregnant, so I would prefer not to be seen. So if you could get me 2 seats way in the back, I'm just going to sneak in and sneak out, and then I'll call you in a couple weeks, sweetie, and we'll have lunch and discuss your career. And I thought, well, okay, she's nuts. The woman's nuts. So I went to the guy that was in charge of the contest, the publicity guy. I said, I need 2 seats way in the back, and please don't tell anybody it's Carol Burnett. And of course, he thought I was nuts. And so the night of the contest, while all those little bimbos are backstage, were going, you think Carol Burnett's actually going to come to, it was at Hollywood Park, the contest. Think she's going to come to the racetrack? And she tells this funny story about tootling up the freeway with her husband, and him going, what the hell is she, a jockey? And he's going, just indulge me. I'm pregnant. I want to go see her, okay? I just got a funny feeling, so just indulge me. So, yeah, in she comes to Hollywood Park. And she is indeed about 14 months pregnant in a big, huge red cape thing. She looked like a weeble. Remember weebles?
Yes, I do.
Wobble, but they don't fall down.
Yeah.
And she had on
a couple engineers
like a ugly black turban pulled way down over her flaming red bangs. She was very incognito. She watched the contest. I won the contest. At which point the publicist, who had promised not to say anything, got up on stage and said, we have a very special guest in our audience tonight. I said, great, this guy's going to ruin my career before it ever gets off the ground. And he asked her to come up on stage and crown the winner, which she did. And
now, what year is this?
And this was actually the contest was November of 1966.
Am I wrong that it was a much more innocent time in show business? I mean, this would never happen again, would it, with a star of Carol's stature in today's show business
Carol
environment?
did that a lot, though. She went
Really?
on punches and helped people, and yeah, she did.
But nobody would do that now. Nobody who was as big as she was then now would actually go to a little firehouse. And,
I suppose, but no, highly unlikely.
That's a remarkable
and then
story.
to wind up on the, I mean, I have often said, I feel like I went to the Harvard School of Comedy on the air. That just doesn't really happen anymore. I mean, I would be so canceled.
Now,
fire her and get an actress, okay?
everybody's still alive, aren't they? Or am I? No, they're
As
not.
far as I know, let's see, what time is it?
Good. Okay.
I think so, yeah.
So, do you still keep in touch with them?
Not nearly as much as we should. We all saw each other, gosh, last time was a couple months ago at a function for the Television Academy. And we all got together and reminisced, and it was great.
You know, they have reunions for a lot of shows that weren't that good in the first place.
We did a reunion.
How come? Oh, you did?
We did our 25th anniversary reunion. So that would have been 1990, oh boy, I don't know. We
Well,
did it
whatever,
a few years
yeah,
ago.
1990 something, gotcha.
We did it a few years ago, and it was, yeah. Well, we started with the show went on the air in '67, so 1992.
Wow.
We did our 25th reunion. At the end of the week, we worked on it a week. We all looked at each other and said, "How the hell did we do this every week?" It was a massive undertaking, massive.
There wasn't a funniest though. Everybody was just hysterical. Everybody was a genius.
Well, as I say, I feel like it was Harvard. You know, you couldn't help but learn from those people. I mean, even just by osmosis.
And who was the original cast? Did not include Tim Conway, right? He was added years later.
I was actually the only person that was there the whole 11 years. There's a small bit of trivia for you. Lyle left about year 7 to go do Wonder Woman, to be her leading lady.
Is that why he left?
And yes, he did.
To be her leading lady?
To be Linda Carter's leading man on Wonder Woman.
I thought there was a...
No.
Yeah.
And then Tim joined the cast about year, I don't know, 5 or 6, I guess, as a regular.
And Harvey was not there the whole time.
Harvey left the very last season. He was only there 10 years.
And are we forgetting anybody?
Well, Dick Van Dyke kind of took his place the last year, but there was not really any. I mean, I'm a huge Dick Van Dyke fan, but there was really no replacing that chemistry at that point, I don't think. So at the end of 11 years, Carol said, I'm hanging it up while we're still on top.
All right, we've got calls holding. We'll get right to them for Vicki Lawrence when we come back on Night Talk. Stick around.
Night Talk is sponsored in part by Highfield Open MRI, the strongest open magnet in Pittsburgh.
And all because of my cat, Mandy. He wanted me to have Mandy fixed, but I wouldn't. Now Mandy has 4 kittens, and I adore them. But Bill has become insanely jealous. He insists that I get rid of Mandy and her kittens. What should I do? Signed, caught between a cat and a hard place.
Oh, for pity's sakes, Fran, tell her to keep the cats and get her boyfriend fixed.
Did you have trouble getting out of that character after a while? I could just see you carrying it on for some reason hours into the...
It is the only character I have ever done that I look at and just laugh. I don't mean it's not like watching me.
Really?
No, I just think she's a hoot.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
And she gets away with murder.
Hey, would you shared an interesting story with us about Lyle Wagner that he apparently...
I just said he's the richest of us all. Probably, because when he left to do Wonder Woman, we taped at a television studio, and he went to a film lot. He went to Universal Pictures, and it was a film lot, so it runs very differently. And usually your dressing room is a trailer. And he didn't like his trailer. It was dirty and it was old, and he went to the guys at Universal and said, if I were to buy my own trailer, would you lease it from me? And they said, sure, no problem. So he has a huge company called Star Wagons now, and they're all over every movie set, every location you see. Star Wagons, that's him.
Will he custom design a Star Wagon for a particular star?
I don't know if he does that, but I've been in many Star Wagons, and every time I am, I go, God damn son of a... What the hell? What am I thinking? Not much.
Yeah, so you've never had any big business ideas, you know, a chain of this? Or...
Actually, you know what? I'm developing a line of makeup now, and I'm very excited about that.
Are you wearing any of that now, or are you just developing? It's in development.
No, it's in development, and we're looking at like spring of next year.
But I'm very excited. You had a great talk show, Vicki.
For a moment,
and it won an Emmy. Didn't it?
Vicki did not. No, we were nominated a lot.
Well, you should have won.
I didn't actually win.
But so what happened to the show?
To Vicki?
Yeah.
Well, I worked for a very not nice guy, and just got to came to shove, and
you shoved him out.
It was ruining my life. It really was.
Okay.
So I asked his bosses to please fix it, or else I couldn't work under those conditions, and it never dawned on me that they'd fire me.
Well, bastards.
I thought they'd fix it.
Yeah. But but it was successful, was it not?
It was very successful.
Yeah.
It was just a very abusive relationship, and it was taking a toll on my health and my marriage, my kids, my everything.
Did you think of starting your own?
My own talk show?
Yeah, your own talk show with your own...
See, I thought that one was mine. But apparently they didn't, so...
All right, so you didn't love it enough to like go out and form your own production company and start all over again?
Well, that's pretty hard. You still have to get to a big syndicator, and I don't know. I'm almost thinking I've outgrown talk shows, unless it's like... I mean, I'll watch Larry King.
Yeah.
But talk shows in general, it's just all so much chit-chat, I get so bored.
Blah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I look at most talk shows and I go, who cares?
All right.
Get a life.
Yeah.
So... I'm not talking about this where you actually get to talk to a person. I'm talking about most daytime talk shows.
Oh, like, well, not to name names, but yeah, your typical Rosie.
Well, I think to do that again would be kind of boring.
But you do it well, and you're intelligent yet normal, which is a sort of a rare combination.
Well, thanks. But you know what? Television in general is not intelligent anymore. I don't think. I mean, I just see it slip sliding away. There's not a lot of intelligent stuff on. Paul Simon. Oh, I thought you were trying to reference slip sliding away.
No, I wasn't. I thought you were talking about the senator from Illinois. Who's also still crazy after all these years. Does it depress
but you digress.
Yeah.
Huh?
Does it depress you? The television sucks? I mean, you sit around going, man, when I was on...
I'm such a great reader. I'm a great reader now. I never used to read.
Oh, really?
No, I really didn't.
So you've read like dozens of books now that you never would have picked up before?
And I think I pick intelligent stuff to watch, and I do other things.
So is television dead? Is whatever was the golden age, or if there were a few golden ages, are they long gone in
I think so.
history?
Oh, I think so. I think so. I mean, I can't even tell you what it is that we watch on a regular basis, other than maybe Larry King, CNN, ESPN, so cable, you know, the History Channel, the public television when there's a wonderful concert on, maybe, old movies, the Turner Movie Classics, you know, the American Movie Channel.
Friends on NBC, that's not making you chuckle.
Well, you know, I was already that age, so I don't need to watch more of it.
Well, I'm just trying
You're cute.
Yeah.
But not... Oh, now Seinfeld, I was a huge fan, but he's gone.
That was
Larry Sanders, I was a huge fan, but he's gone.
How about Arliss on HBO?
I've never
seen
really
that?
gotten into it.
Sex and the City, do you?
Sex and the City is adorable. But then, you know, you really have to... I'm not really good about remembering when those cable things are on.
Sopranos?
Yeah, but then well, now The Sopranos, at least where we are, is opposite The X-Files.
Wow.
And I'm like a huge X-Files fan.
Well,
Although
see,
the
so
X-Files is getting a little strange.
I've heard it was kind of getting, really strange. I thought it was
well,
stale.
it's getting kind of, yeah.
All right,
But I'm a huge fan of both of theirs. My daughter got me hooked on the X-Files, so I'm hooked now. What are you going to do?
These poor people have been waiting, and I should get to them. Here is Dave. Hi, Dave. Go ahead for Vicki Lawrence.
Hi, Vicki. How you doing?
Hi, Dave. I'm good. How are you?
Doing good.
Great.
Whenever I'm off work, I catch your show here in Pittsburgh on WPTT.
Great.
I just wondered if you could just do a little bit of Mama.
If I can do a little...
You've been sitting on the phone to wait me here to hear me talk like Mama?
Yeah.
Get a life. Go get a life.
Thank you very much.
Leave me the hell alone. An old woman.
By the way, it's on WPGH, I think. It's on the Fox station. And I'm glad he said that because I was supposed to say that because we stole the clips from them.
Oh, okay.
Fox. It's the
Good.
fine Fox station in town, WPGH.
Right, yeah, she's had a great career, Mama.
Yeah?
This show is running all over everywhere.
It is. It is on everywhere. Is that gratifying?
Oh, my God. Are you kidding? She's made a better living than I have.
And are you just... but aren't you just raking in the bucks?
She's
Don't you get
supporting
any-
my family,
Good,
God
good,
love
good.
her.
All right.
I
I
love
just
that
want to make
old
sure you
gal.
didn't get screwed like some of the people did a long time ago.
She's my gal. That was a long
Good.
time ago. I'm not that old.
I know.
Okay.
Here's Jim. Jim for Vicki Lawrence.
Hi, Vicki.
Hi, Jim.
Hey.
Hey.
You are fantastic.
Well, I know. No, just kidding. Thank you. That's very nice of you.
I watch your show all the time.
Oh, thank you.
On cable here, and I just think that you are a fantastic person. And the only person I did not like on your show was Naomi. She just was a cracker.
You didn't like her?
No, I liked Vint and his two kids, and
Vinton was pretty much of a loser. Didn't you think?
no, I like Vint.
I do too, but
But you're just fantastic, and I love you, and I always watch your show, and you know, I don't know. I never talked to a real TV actor before, and you are fantastic. You know,
well, thank you
always
very
watch
much.
Your show.
Thank you so much.
Jim, thanks a lot.
Now, Naomi was Dorothy Lyman.
Yes, I loved her, and she was on all my children for a while,
She
too.
was
She was
on,
great.
well, that's how we found her, actually. When we were putting the show together, we were all hooked on All My Children at the time.
Me
And we
too.
said, oh, my God, she would be so wonderful in this show. And at the time, we borrowed her from All My Children. She would do All My Children 3 days a week in New York, fly out to us, work with us 3 days a week, and then take the red eye back to New York. She had like 1 day a week off, and she called it, at the time, All My Paychecks.
All right, let me take a quick break. One more quick segment with Vicki Lawrence. Back
I
in a
loved
moment on
her.
Night Talk. Stick around.
I have a funny story about her.
The official transportation provider of Night Talk is Pittsburgh Limousine, the one clear choice in transportation.
Vicki Lawrence is here for one more brief segment, so let us get to your calls. Here's Helen. Hi, Helen. Go ahead.
Hi, Vicki. It's so nice talking to you.
Hi, Helen. Thank you.
I miss seeing you on television in something more recent. Enjoyed the Mama series, and I think you're a really great character actress.
Well, thank you.
A lot of talent.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
All right, come over and say hi at Walmart tomorrow.
I may try to get out there. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Mark is here. Mark, are you going to the Walmart?
Oh, I wish I could. I'd love to meet Vicki in person. Vicki, I'm a huge fan. I especially loved you on the talk shows.
Thank you very much.
My question, though, is I loved you in Nonsense, almost in everything you've done. Is there any plans for doing any more Nonsense? And, what was that like to do?
Well, I wish. Actually, I did Nonsense 3. Danny Goggin is the creator, writer, mad brain behind all of those, and he asked me to do that particular incarnation, Nonsense 3. And we rehearsed the show in New York and then took it down to Opryland and did it live at Opryland for 3 nights, which was really, really fun. I mean, that's like one of those stages where I think, well, how am I ever going to end up on that stage, So that was very, very cool. But I haven't talked to Danny. He's all over the world doing Nonsenses. He's got more versions of Nonsense but we're good friends, and if he calls me to do another one, I would love to.
I'd love to see you back.
That's great fun. My God, you put on a habit, you don't have to worry about anything. Your hair, your makeup, nothing. There's nothing to worry about. You just put on the habit, and everybody's nice to you.
Now, you told me, I can't remember if it was on or off the air, that your daughter is a health nut. But you do look really, really good. Do you obsess on your health, or are you just blessed with
oh my God,
good looks?
I should, maybe.
But you're not a big nut. You don't get up and work out and
I work
eat
out.
granola.
I have a black Labrador Retriever named Hannah, Banana. And Hannah and Al gave her to me 5 years ago now, and we live in a 3-story beach house. I said, honey, this dog is going to be enormous. What the hell am I going to do with her? So Hannah really has been responsible for getting me out on the road. I mean, we go 3.5 miles,
Does she like yank you
4
down the road? I mean,
miles.
is she pulling you?
Most of the time, we've got a nice steady pace together. Some days she walks me, and some days I walk her. But for the most part, we gals get out there and get around that island every day, and our island's like 3.5, 4 miles around. So that's every day, and then I do a lot of some weights, some gyrotonics, some Pilates, some yoga.
And you also mentioned to me off the air that a psychic reader once gave you a tarot card reading which predicted a heart problem that your
She
son
said
had.
there's very clear, no, she didn't say my son, but she said there's clearly a heart problem on the male side of your family. And I said, well, duh, Grandpa just had the bypass surgery. She said, no, I don't think that's it. She said, what about Al? Has Al been checked out? I said, Al's fine. She said, I clearly see a heart problem on this male side of the family, but keep an eye on
But have you gotten into psychic since then? I mean, do you actually see her occasionally, or was that your own one
I
and
call
only?
her once in a while. I'll
Oh,
call
do you?
her.
Same one? Because she was so right. And is she still doing any good? I mean, has she
Annie,
long
she's-
since ceased to be accurate?
Her
or?
name is Annie Phillips, and she works out of Las Vegas, and she'll read for you over the phone.
So you like her? I
Or
mean, she's,
she- Annie?
You
Yeah.
believe that some people have the gift.
Oh, I think so.
She's got
and
it, yeah.
Shar, I've had Shar tell me some amazing things.
All right.
Shar got on the phone with my daughter one night. Courtney said, I want to talk to her. I have a question for her. And brought Courtney to tears. Nailed a problem that Courtney was wrestling with right at that moment. That's my daughter. It's my daughter. Courtney.
All right. We promised we'd be out of here by 9:40, and that's why we're going to take one more quick phone call. Marcia.
Hi, Vicki.
Hi, Marcia. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I've
Good.
been a big fan of yours since Carol Burnett's show.
Thank you.
And I just have a comment that when my daughter-in-law was expecting her second baby, her son was 4 years old, and you know how you go and always ask, well, what are we going to name the baby? Well, he wanted to name the baby Thelma Harper. And he still watches your show. He's 12 years old now, and he's still in love with Thelma Harper.
Oh, okay. Oh, dear.
Her name's Brittany now, though.
Oh, that's good. Brittany is much better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but very nice seeing you. I hope you enjoy Pittsburgh.
Thank you. Thank
See
you.
ya.
It's summer here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's hot as hell, isn't it?
You got summer. Oh, I don't know. Felt good when I got off the plane.
Yeah. I like hot weather.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, so you're going to be at Walmart at 11 tomorrow morning.
Walmart.
Which one?
At 11 o'clock, 250 Summit Park Drive.
And then you'll be at
And then
Allegheny General
tomorrow night
Hospital.
at Allegheny General Hospital in the McGovern Auditorium from 6 to 7:30 with some doctors. And you know, sometimes doctors they're good. They have good information. If you need, you know what the thing is, I'll be there to lighten things up is what I was going to
Okay,
say.
good, yeah.
But I think the thing is, if you have any questions about your heart, if you're having any problems, this is a fabulous way to get some free information. Free.
Right,
Free.
and what can you get for free when it has to do with the medical industry?
Nothing.
So,
Nothing.
no.
So, yeah, it's a good, if you got questions, come and get them answered for nothing.
Well, it's really been delightful meeting you. Thanks for coming.
Well, thank you for having
Please,
me.
if you ever come back, please come back.
If I ever come back, please come
You know
back.
what I'm
Okay,
saying.
I'm going to get my
Here,
needlepoint
here.
out. I like that. If you ever come back, please come back.
Back in a moment with more stuff. Stay with us on the Pittsburgh Cable News Channel. A highfalutin political consultant. He's got big shot offices down here at Gateway Center. It's on the 23rd floor. And he busts into our Night Talk offices all the time. And it's always unannounced. He never once says he's coming, and he expects us to drop whatever we're doing as if he matters. As if he's some sort of big shot worthy of, you know, us dropping everything we're doing on every single occasion. So we just thought we'd just walk in and see what William J. Green is up to today. Nobody important so far. Bunch of bureaucrat-looking drones sitting around. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen, Bill Green. Major corporate magnate, big shot Republican guy. He thinks we're not bursting into his office, but we are, because obviously this man can't be important because he's behind the desk. You'd be behind the desk and he'd be here if he was a client. Welcome on the inaugural episode of Busted on the Big Shot, Bill. Boom, we're live on tape on PCNC. Do you work for Bill Green?
I try to work for Bill Green.
Is he a tyrant? Is he an ogre?
Only occasionally.
He puts the moves on you every now and then, does he?
Only occasionally an ogre, and only occasionally a tyrant.
And how often does he put the moves on you?
Rarely.
Well, that's
I knock
good to
you
hear.
down.
All right, can you give us a tour of your lovely offices, Bill? It's the inaugural episode of Bustin' on the Big Shot Day. Looks like we're heading toward Bill Green's offices himself. My goodness, look at these plush Republican surroundings. A cushy chair, a fancy computer. A Lucky Charm or two for a paperweight. Messages, suck up to Jim Roddy. Suck up to Tom Ridge. This is a fancy schmancy suite you got here, Bill.
Well, we're very proud of it, John. Thank you very much.
And look at all these big shots on the wall. There's a thing to Rick Santorum, to Bill. Thank you so much for sucking up to me at every opportunity. You're the best little suck-up bureaucratic government ever produced. Bill, a lot of people don't know, used to be a press secretary, not to Tom Ridge, but to, who was it, the other guy? Mr. 3 Mile Island guy, Dick Thornburg. There, that guy, before he sucked up to the government people enough so that they gave him big fat contracts and he became a rich, independent political consultant.
You're going to do that.
And then Danny Quayle, my God, your intellectual equal. It's good to have him on board. And who, is this your illegitimate son? Ladies and gentlemen, it's Bill Green's illegitimate son. Don't mean to interrupt, George, but that's important. A lot of people don't know that, how long ago did you have this young man, Bill? Man. It's good to be king. Yes, the Republican mindset of a rich fat cat. This is it. There's nobody in your offices, Bill. It's like empty in here. There's nothing here. There's like 2 employees. There's a Bill Green employee right there. Have you worked for Bill Green for very long? Not at all?
No, this really isn't.
Is he a tyrant at all?
No, of course not.
Then what does he pay you? Minimum wage? Barely above?
Barely above.
Are there any Bill Green scandals? No, you're not. Are there any Bill Green scandals you can let us in on?
No.
What do you do here?
I'm his secretary.
Oh, really? And does he have you dress in scantily clad outfits and sashay around?
Absolutely not.
Okay, good. Because he used to try that with that guy down the hall, and, you know, we had to put a stop to that. And why are you watching Fox 53 News?
I'm watching about the turnpike potholes.
Oh, so you have to keep track of the turnpike pothole.
No, I'm duplicating a tape.
Okay, well, congratulations. Good to know that some of the people here are actually earning an honest day's living. There's nobody else here. There's this guy, you, and the secretary. Your chummy little threesome, and that's it. How do you make money with this? There's no one working. All right, well, I guess this might have to... Here's Bill Green and 2 other... Who are these dorks? Oh, these are the people who work here.
2 of my partners.
Pardon me?
2 of my 2 partners.
Yeah.
There's David Mashik on the left and Tom Minard on the right.
Yeah. Well, everybody's minor compared to you, aren't they, Mr. Big Shot?
We're not going to do it. You're not going to put this.
We're doing... Of course we're going to put it on the air.
George.
Why not?
Let that
No,
happen.
I would agree. It's not that funny. It's barely airworthy, but we got a lot of time to fill, and it's only the Pittsburgh Cable News Channel, Bill. This is our first Busted on the Big Shot Day.
Wow,
You should
is
be
that
on
right?
it. We're going to bust in on some other big shots in the future.
No, you won't.
Well, depending on how long this goes.
If they see this, they'll be certain that it never happens again.
Oh, and here is the Bill Clinton honorary cigar. All the Republicans who hate Clinton got one of these babies after Lewinsky Gate.
You have to do this right, see? I don't know what that meant either. You can ignore it.
Man, I don't know, but I don't know what else you're going to be playing with around here in this. All right, I think we better. You're an employee of William J. Green's.
3 o'clock is on the phone. Hello.
She's ignoring me because she's not stupid. Thank you.
I have a call to make.
You have a call to take? Let's watch Bill Green take a call. Bill Green, who always expects us to drop everything we're doing whenever he comes over, is now suffering the wrath of payback time. Payback's a bitch on the Payback Cable News Channel.
No, you can't do that.
Is this a personal call?
It's a business call, yes.
Well, can't you put it on the speakerphone?
No.
Come on. There's that speakerphone right there. Just plug it up. All right, let's go looking really briefly for anybody else who might be here, but I think we're just crap out of luck. Bill Green takes a personal call. These are plush offices. They do have a nice view. The secretary, who is scantily clad, is on there. She is. How are you? Not really very scantily, actually. And a bunch of cubicles for all the... Oh, look! The motto. First thing. Why doesn't that ever occur to anybody who works at PCNC? So once again, Bill Green is not a tyrant?
Is he a particularly good boss?
He's got his moments.
How's he paying you? Is he paying you well?
Well enough, I suppose. I don't know.
You're really a disgruntled employee just waiting to burst out, aren't you?
No.
What do you do here?
I'm one of the account executives.
Oh, no kidding. So that's impressive, actually.
No, I'm just one of the grunts.
Oh, really? Well, is there anybody impressive in the whole firm?
Well, you got Bill, Dave, and Tom. They're the principal.
Yeah, so is there anybody impressive in the whole firm?
Not my call.
All right. Well, is there any secret Bill Green stories you can tell us?
No.
You know, the time he danced naked, the time he stood on his head and hung out the window,
Nope,
the time he got drunk and burped and
black
farted.
And white kittens. He's looking for a black and white kitten.
Really?
Yes, because his kitten died about a year and a half ago.
Oh, sure, humanize him. Well, let's just forget that thing. Oh, whatever. Yeah. She probably told him to say that if they ever come in with the camera, tell him that kitten crap. All right, well, I guess it's time that we end Busting with the Big Shot. Perhaps we ought to say goodbye personally to William J. Green, who's still on that important... What the hell does office go? It's over here. William J. Green on the personal call. Oh, look, he actually appears to be doing something important. So we'll just leave him alone and we'll say sayonara, everybody. So long from the inaugural episode of Busting on the Big Shot. Night Talk will continue in a moment on the Pittsburgh Cable News Channel.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's commentary. What a week in Pittsburgh sports. A bold move by the Buccos, everybody. They were in big trouble. Kevin Young couldn't hit. The starting rotation was rotating between mediocre and awful. The bullpen was bull-doogie. Even the good hitters were leaving so many runners stranded that CBS was thinking of videotaping them for a Survivor sequel. But then McClatchy and company sat down and made some cold, hard business decisions, everybody. Did they fire the manager? No. Did they demote some of the players? No. Did they get a new front office hotshot? No, everybody. They fired the first base and the third base coaches. Yeah, that was the problem all along. That's why Kevin Young can't hit the broadside of a White House intern. It's because the third base coach kept giving him that secret sign to keep sucking. And how about them Stillers? If you can't play football, it's WWF time, baby. You know what they say, if you can't beat them, then beat the crap out of your teammates. Is it true Huntley and Holmes fought over who gets to spend quality time with Cordell? Speaking of which, I haven't heard one juicy Steeler rumor so far this year. The coach and the QB are being good boys, so it's time to start one. I hear Josh Miller puts on pink lacy underwear and runs through the North Hills at night shouting, "Who wants to be my long snapper? Who wants to be my long snapper?" Elsewhere in the world of sports, John Rocker showed up for work in the minors, which is highly appropriate considering the size of his brain, and I'm guessing there's a consistency across the board. Michael Jordan showed up for the Lemieux tournament, chomping a big fat giant cigar, and I'm guessing there's a consistency across the board. Meanwhile, Steve Young finally sat down and gave some quality thought to a particular personal dilemma, the answer to which seems obvious to 99% of us. Let's see. Play another season and risk becoming a permanently brain-dead zombie who hires a team of lackeys to wipe the drool off of his face. So maybe it is good that he is retiring on Monday. Good decision, Steve Areno. And finally, off the subject of sports, it is once again clear there's no justice in the world. A spoiled brat who skips class and pulls parking lot pranks at Shadyside Academy gets rich mommy and daddy to hire a lawyer and sue, and the kid is allowed to participate in his graduation ceremony. But poor little Mika at Woodland Hills High School is shut out of her graduation ceremony because all school debts were supposed to be paid by Monday, but the school informed her on Tuesday that she owed the money. Principal Snidely Whiplash has declined comment on the allegation that he's a hard-hearted, insufferable bastard. And he says there will be no news conference to rebut these allegations since his schedule is completely full. This weekend alone, he's foreclosing on 7 little old ladies, tying 4 young blondes to the railroad track, and he's working on a deal with the Grinch that would allow him to steal Christmas this year. And that's commentary, ladies and germs. Steve Chenevy is here. Am I pronouncing your last name right, Steve?
Make it a Chenevy, and you're good to go.
Chenevy. I always screw your name up.
Well,
and I know you. I see you in the hall all the time. Chenevy.
You're mighty brutal tonight. You're on a roll.
That principal's a butthead, you know?
Well, you know, we talked tonight actually on Talkback with the mother of Mika.
Did you really talk to Mika's mom?
Yeah, we did, as a matter of fact. Cool. And she was a little upset about that, the whole timing issue like that. Finding a day late and a couple bucks short.
And you know, Josh really is looking for a long